Have you ever felt like God skipped your name? Like everyone else is moving forward, and you're standing still? Like prayers are rising, but nothing is coming back down? Be honest. There are nights when you don't doubt God's power. You doubt His attention. You wonder, did He forget about me? You see others celebrating new jobs, new relationships, new opportunities, and you clap for them. But inside, there's a quiet ache, a silent question. When will it be my turn? You don't say it out loud because you don't want to sound ungrateful, but you feel it. The waiting, the silence, the invisibility. It feels personal, like heaven went quiet right when you needed noise the most. My child, feeling forgotten does not mean you are forgotten. It means you are in a hidden chapter, and hidden chapters are not empty. They are protected. Look at a seed. When it disappears into the soil, does it die, or does it develop? To the outside world, it looks buried, but underground, it is building roots, and roots must grow deep before anything grows tall. Right now, you feel buried, overlooked, underestimated, left behind, but you are not buried. You are planted. There is a difference. Buried things are forgotten. Planted things are prepared for growth, and preparation happens in darkness. No applause, no spotlight, no recognition, just pressure, and pressure reveals foundation. If I showed you everything I am doing behind the scenes, you would not question the silence, because silence is not absence. It is strategy. When a builder lays foundation, you don't see beauty. You see dirt, concrete, mess. But the taller the building, the deeper the foundation must go. You are not behind. You are being reinforced. Let me tell you something most people don't realize. Public elevation always follows private preparation. The world only sees the reveal. They never see the refinement. You feel forgotten because you measure your life by visible progress. But heaven measures progress by inner growth. Are you stronger than last year? Are you wiser? Do you react less emotionally? Do you trust more deeply? That is growth. And growth is proof that you are not abandoned. Sometimes I remove the noise so you can hear me clearly. Sometimes I remove people so you depend on me fully. Sometimes I remove momentum so you develop maturity. Because if I gave you visibility too early, you would attach your identity to applause, and applause fades. But identity built in silence is unshakable. My child, when you feel forgotten, it is usually because you are being fortified. Fortified means strengthened in places nobody sees. Your patience is being tested. Your loyalty is being examined. Your faith is being purified. Faith that only works when life is good is not strong faith. Real faith survives silence, and silence stretches faith. Right now, you may not see movement, but heaven is aligning details you cannot control, conversations you are not part of, decisions being made in rooms you have never entered, doors shifting quietly, paths being cleared silently, timing adjusting precisely. Nothing is random. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is forgotten. You are not an afterthought. You are intentional, and intentional things are never rushed. So when you feel invisible, remember this. Invisibility is insulation. It protects you from attacks you are not ready to handle yet. It shields you from pressures you have not trained for yet. It preserves your peace until your strength matches your calling. You are not forgotten. You are being formed, and formation takes time. Let's talk about the hardest part of feeling forgotten. It's not the waiting. It's the comparison. You can handle delay, but it hurts when someone who started after you reaches before you. It hurts when you prayed longer, but they receive faster. It hurts when you worked harder, but they get noticed first. And in those moments, you don't question their blessing. You question your worth. Am I not good enough? Did I miss my chance? Did God choose them over me? Comparison is subtle. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It plants small doubts. And over time, those doubts grow into insecurity. But hear this clearly. Someone else's acceleration is not your rejection. Heaven does not operate on scarcity. There is no limited supply of blessings, no quota system, no only one winner rule. What is assigned to you cannot be stolen by someone else. If it fits your destiny, it will find your door. You feel forgotten because you're measuring timing instead of alignment. You see movement, but you don't see foundation. You see applause, but you don't see pressure. You see spotlight, but you don't see responsibility. Every level carries weight, and if you rise before you're ready, the weight will crush you. Some people are ahead publicly, but exhausted privately. Some are smiling online, but anxious offline. Some look elevated, but feel unstable. So don't envy what you don't fully understand. You don't see the full story. My child, when others move ahead, it tests your heart. Will you celebrate, or will you secretly resent? Your reaction reveals your readiness. Jealousy blocks growth. Celebration unlocks maturity. When you can clap for others while you're still waiting, you prove that your faith is real. Because real faith says, if God did it for them, He can do it for me too. Comparison is a distraction. It shifts focus from preparation to pressure, from growth to hurry, and hurry leads to mistakes. How many times have people rushed just to catch up, only to regret the decision later? Wrong relationship, wrong investment, wrong partnership, all because they didn't want to feel behind. But behind according to who? Society's timeline? Social media's illusion? Family expectations? Your journey is customized. Different calling, different capacity, different impact. So the timeline must be different. If two trees grow in the same field, one may grow faster, but the other may grow taller. Speed is not superiority. Depth matters more than pace. Right now, you are being grown in depth. Depth is invisible at first, but depth determines height. And here's something powerful. Isolation is often preparation for influence. Before leaders speak publicly, they learn privately. Before they guide others, they are shaped alone. Isolation removes dependency on applause. It removes need for validation. It builds inner stability. When you feel alone, you're actually being strengthened internally. Because if you rely on constant external affirmation, you become fragile. And fragile success doesn't last. Heaven sometimes pulls you away from noise So your identity becomes clear. Clear identity produces confident decisions. Confident decisions create stable success. Stable success builds lasting legacy. Nothing is random. Even the loneliness, even the silence, even the waiting. It is all connected. You are not forgotten. You are being filtered. Filtered from comparison. Filtered from insecurity. Filtered from desperation. Because desperation makes you accept what destiny never approved. And destiny is too important to be compromised by emotion. Your season is not late. It is layered, and when your layer rises, it will rise solid, unshakable, built on depth, not speed. So when you see others ahead, instead of asking, "Why not me?" ask, "What is being built in me?" Shift the question. Shift the perspective. Shift the peace. Because peace in waiting is proof of maturity, and maturity unlocks movement. There is a moment when everything changes, not gradually, not slowly. Suddenly, you spend months feeling unseen, unnoticed, uncelebrated, and then one day, recognition finds you, opportunity finds you, clarity finds you, and you realize something powerful. You were never forgotten. You were being reserved. Reserved means set apart, protected from premature exposure, shielded from unnecessary battles, prepared for a precise moment, because timing is everything. If your name was called too early, you would have stepped into rooms without the strength to stand in them. If doors opened too soon, you would have walked through them without the wisdom to sustain them. But now you're different, stronger, calmer, less desperate, more grounded. The waiting changed you. The silence refined you. The isolation matured you. And maturity attracts favor. Favor is not luck. It is alignment. Alignment between preparation and opportunity. And when those two meet, acceleration happens. Suddenly the same people who overlooked you start noticing you. The same spaces that ignored you start inviting you. The same voices that doubted you start respecting you. Not because you forced it, but because your season shifted. Seasons change quietly. There is no announcement in the sky, no warning siren, just alignment. And when alignment clicks, movement becomes natural. Effort feels lighter. Doors open smoother. Conversations flow easier. Peace replaces pressure. That is how you know it is divine timing. Not anxiety, not panic, not rush. Peace. My child, being forgotten was never your identity. It was your training ground. Training builds endurance. Endurance builds confidence. Confidence builds authority. And authority commands respect. Now, when you walk into rooms, you don't beg for attention. You carry presence. Presence built in silence. Presence built in patience. Presence built in faith. You no longer need validation. You radiate value. And that shift changes everything. Let me tell you something powerful. The same silence that once hurt you is the reason you can now handle elevation. Because you learned to survive without applause. You learned to believe without evidence. You learned to trust without timeline. That is rare strength, and rare strength produces rare results. So when you look back at this season, You won't call it abandonment. You'll call it development. You won't call it delay. You'll call it design. You won't call it forgotten. You'll call it formed. Because formation always comes before favor. Right now, you might still be in transition, still waiting, still wondering. But hold this truth close. Nothing about your life is accidental. Every closed door had a reason. Every silent prayer had a purpose. Every lonely night had a lesson. And every lesson built capacity. Capacity to carry what's coming. You are not behind. You are becoming. And becoming takes time. But when becoming meets opportunity, you won't just step forward. You will rise. And when you rise, it will not be fragile. It will not be temporary. It will not be shallow. It will be rooted, deep, stable, sustained. So lift your head. The silence was never rejection. It was redirection. The loneliness was never punishment. It was preparation. The feeling of being forgotten was actually the season of being fortified. Your time is not missed. It is measured, and measured timing never fails. Trust the unseen work. Trust the quiet growth. Trust the divine design, because soon what once felt hidden will be highlighted. What once felt overlooked will be elevated. What once felt forgotten will be favored. And when that moment arrives, you will stand steady, not shocked, not overwhelmed, just ready. Now, my child, I want you to reflect on what you've just heard. If you feel the weight of these words, if you feel like your season of silence is finally making sense, I want you to share this moment with someone who needs to hear this truth. And if you believe that favor is coming, no matter how long it takes, drop a "I trust the timing" in the comments below. Let's make this declaration together. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, because the journey of growth, strength, and favor is just beginning, and you don't want to miss what's next. Your next season is waiting for you, so subscribe now and join this family of believers who trust